Hey everybody, and welcome to another Project Zomboid Mapping 101. In this video we will be creating a basic world for you to get started in, and to do so we will be starting with the world editor, or world ed. After opening the tool you will have to go to File and click New to create a new world, and it will ask you how big you want your world to be. I see a lot of people starting out with really massive projects. I'd really recommend to do like 1 or 2 cells by 1 or 2 cells just to get the hang of the tools, and if you plan in advance you actually may be able to use the stuff that you've made for the smaller project in your bigger project. I'm going to do 1 by 1 cell for the tutorial and hit OK, and it will create a 1 cell grid, which is completely empty of course because there's no data in the game yet. Now, if you want to get some data into the editor, you will need an image, and for that you will need image editing software. Now, I'm going to use Photoshop myself. You are free to use any other tool. There are free tools out there like Paint.net or GIMP, which work just fine. Now, every cell in the world, I'm going to go back to World Ed real quick. Every cell in the world is 300 by 300 tiles. That's also 300 by 300 meters. And every tile corresponds to 1 pixel in the image that we are about to create. So knowing that, with 1 tile I will have with 1 cell I will need 300 by 300 pixels, as it's also 300 by 300 tiles. So far so good, right? So we have a square image here which is white and doesn't contain any usable data for the editor yet. There are a set of colors. I will share the file with you with a link to my Google Drive, which explains which color represents what in game. So in this case we're going to use dark grass for the base of our world, and I'm just going to use the bucket tool to fill the entire canvas with that 1 color. I'm going to hit Ctrl S to save this file real quick so I get a working file. And I'm going to save the file in the world ed folder. I'm going to create a new folder for this project called tutorial_world_01. Open that up, and I'm going to create a folder in there called images 01. Open that up, and in there I save my PSD. Now you don't have to abide by this folder structure, but this is how I like to keep things organized, and it will help you in the future with speeding things up. I'm going to save this, and I'm going to save this out as a PNG in the same folder, and I'm going to call this 00, as it is cell 00. This will also keep track of, what is what. You may want to add a name in front of it, like tutorial in my case, tutorial_00. But just 00 will also suffice. And I'm going to hit save. Now you may be enthusiastic and run straight back to the world editor to throw this in, and I'm going to tell you why it won't work. So I'm going to open the world editor to show you, you don't have to. And I'm going to go to the folder that I was working in. I'll make this smaller for a second. Go to images, and then there is my tutorial 00 PNG. If I try to throw that in, I get a red icon saying this doesn't work. That means it won't work. That's because you need 2 images to get it into the world editor. We have our basic map right here, which is all the ground tiles like sand, dirt and grass. And on top of that we need a vegetation map for the trees, the taller grass, the bushes, stuff like that. Now I'm going to create that same image inside of my PSD work file, so I'm going to create a new layer, and I'm just going to make it pitch black. Pitch black means there are no vegetation tiles needed, and it will not generate any vegetation for you at all. And I'm also going to save that out with the same name as the other one. The only change that you need to make is call it _VEG at the end for vegetation. Hit save. And then in your folder you should now have 2 images almost with the same name, one with VEG at the end. Now if you then go back to the world editor, open up your folder and try to drag it in, it will work. You can see that it's trying to snap to the grid, and I can snap it to the world. It also created a new folder or the editor, which is the same little image that is displayed here. Now if you double click this, you will go into the cell, but it will not display anything at this point because you haven't generated the world yet from the image that was that you just supplied. Go back to the world, select the cell, go to File, and then you have BMP to TMX. Now I used a PNG file for this, which works just fine. I think GIF files also work, and of course BMPs work. You can do whatever you want, basically. Now, you can use all cells or selected cells only. I only have one cell and it is selected, so it doesn't really matter for me. I'm gonna pick one and then I get this new screen. Now, we are gonna make a folder for this to save in by clicking on the three dots. And we are creating a new folder called world ed. Select that folder and just leave it at that. In here there should be a rules.txt and a blends.txt. In a future tutorial we will go over what these exactly do and how you can make adjustments to them if you'd like. For now you can just let them be. Make sure to check this little box to assign the generated maps to the world. Otherwise whatever you apply here will not be applied to the world. And make sure to press OK. If you press apply, it only applies the settings, it will not actually generate the world for you. So I'm gonna press OK. And there we go, finished. At this point, if you get an error saying you used the wrong colors, that means you used the wrong colors and you have to go back to your image and fix it. I used the exact right colors and I'm happy I have a finished result. I'm gonna press OK. And I'm not sure if you noticed, but the image has changed slightly. It's now very pixelated. And now if I double click it, I get an empty world with a whole bunch of grass. Now in the next video, we will go into how you can add detail like roads, trees, bushes, water, sand, all the fun stuff to your world and actually get to building your creation. Quick shout out to my patrons on Patreon. Thank you for supporting me. And to everybody watching this, thank you for watching this video. If you like it, please consider liking and subscribing. And I hope you have a very, very nice day.